Welcome back to another episode of the Downsizing Roadmap Podcast with your hosts, Jody Roscoe and Heather Fisher. We're talking about all things downsizing, from our own experiences with clients to guest experts. Let's make downsizing easier, one conversation at a time.
Hi, welcome to Downsizing Roadmap Podcast. We are talking today about some really easy wins. 10 easy things to declutter that have no emotion around them.
Right. So, not photos.
Yeah. Not heirlooms. Just a nice, easy walk in the park. Some things that you can really...
Expired food.
Yeah. That's an easy one. Expired anything takes the decisions away.
Right.
So I'm Heather Fisher.
I'm Jody Roscoe.
And we're excited to dive in. If you've been listening to our podcast, you know, sometimes things are harder, sometimes they're easier. If you're just getting started and you came across this episode, this is a great way to get some momentum built. So then you can tackle those harder things down the road.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think if you start getting it rolling, then it is so much easier to do the harder things.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the momentum is what you need.
Because you're looking around and you're like, oh, I can't do it.
It's like, I need to downsize or I need to declutter is such an overwhelming mountain.
Right.
But there's a lot of easy pieces in it that can just be easy to get started.
Well, and that's why we talk about, which not totally talking about that today, but talk about parameters, right?
Yeah.
Because that just gives you like a grid to be able to decide so much easier if you have parameters in place. So we have a podcast around that, so go listen to that one. But today we're talking about easy things that you don't even need parameters around.
Yeah, I mean, these are a category that for most of them, you could grab them and be done in an hour or, done in a half a day. And so it's really not making a whole plan around them. The plan is get this done, check the box, and move on to the next thing. And you'll make so much progress, be through 10 things, and have some space to breathe and tackle some other stuff.
Yeah, because the harder things really give you a lot more decision fatigue.
Yeah.
So we're talking about things that shouldn't give you a whole lot of decision, like shouldn't take a whole lot of brain power to decide to let go of them.
Yeah, decision fatigue is when, your brain just no longer has the capacity in one day to
get rid of one more thing, even if it's a used gum wrapper.
Yeah, you just need to stop making decisions. So these are some filler activities when you need that break. It's your permission as well to toss a lot of things without guilt.
Right. I think your 100 would work really good here.
Yeah.
Tell me about the 100 again.
So the quick 100 is just, starting with that's your plan. You're going to get rid of 100 things. And, the stat we always give is the average home has 300,000 things. So if it feels like, 100's a lot, it's really not.
It's surprising.
It's a quick breeze through, and we're talking, sheets of paper, pieces of junk mail. If you've got kids at home, it's definitely easy because they're just collectors of little
rocks.
Yeah, rocks and Happy Meal toys and birthday party treats. That's, where this stemmed from, was when I had little kids at home. But I think, I do the same thing. I shouldn't blame it on the kids because as adults, we collect trinkets and, a postcard that came in the mail with a coupon or just so much that's not useful.
It comes in without even our permission, really.
Yeah.
It's just here in our house that we don't need it.
Sits in that, visible spot until you're sick of not making a decision on it, so it gets tucked.
Right.
And it's all the tucked stuff.
I'm trying so hard not to be a shover anymore.
Oh my. Did you hear that, folks?
Yes. I'm working on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let's count down. Number 10.
Expired toiletries and makeup. I said this on a previous episode, but I did this recently. And, kitchen-sized trash bag full between the bathroom and the linen closet with shelves.
Yep. And it doesn't even have to be expired. It's sometimes like you buy something, a product that you just don't love, and then you don't throw it away because it's a full bottle of whatever. And so you keep it, and then it sits there for, however long. So if you've bought something, just let go of that money. That decision is made, already done, and just let it go. So, but I also did it recently, and there was tons of stuff that was old, like had just been in there a long time and, probably dried up or, not good anymore.
I think one thing I'm definitely guilty of is that, in my head, I'm like, oh, sunscreen expires and it's so important to have sunscreen. So I get new, but I don't do the 1 in, 1 out rule. So, there's all the old ones either tucked in a pool bag or in the back of the closet, and I'm not checking them all. So there were so many sunscreens and things like that, we're at that line, but we had new, and we're never going to use all of that before it actually is expired if it wasn't. So definitely condensing on those things.
Nail polish too. Like I get the nail polish and it's all separated into like colors that's not going to go back.
You try
again.
to put it on your nails, it's clumpy. Just immediately don't be like 99% of us. You put the lid back on and stick it back on the shelf. Put it right to the trash can.
Right to the trash. Yep.
Yeah. So it's definitely just something to be conscious of once you've done it, to not let it accumulate.
And I think I said this after I did it, I bought little trays and I put all of like the hair care together and all the face care together and it just has made such a crazy difference. Like it's so simple, but it really has made a difference for me to see what I'm using and what I'm not using, and know right where to go to get it, and I'm not weeding around for it and all the things. So
yeah, absolutely. So number 9,
mismatched Tupperware lids and containers. Oh my gosh. I actually just threw everything out one day. It was so bad. And my mom had she would save the butter container, like, and, all of the whatever.
Mom, we're talking to you. My mom would save the Cool Whip bowls.
Yep.
And, all of that. They're still there, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I actually let it all go, and I bought some that are all stackable inside of each other, and the lids kind of sit up behind them. And we had our kitchen cabinets painted, and so all of the cabinets were open when Mark's mom passed away. So I had 50 people at my house with every cabinet like available to see. No. And I was like, whatever, here, this is what's happening right now. And they were like, oh my gosh, your Tupperware is so organized, like, and it actually makes me so happy. Like it's one of those little things that's like, but I don't ever search for the lid. They're right behind, like. It makes me so happy. It was worth the money that I spent just on the, Rubbermaid ones that I bought.
Yeah, I started a few years ago, as an adult, there's not always, people, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want? So I started asking for just glass Tupperware with the lids and all the same brand or whatever. And I've got what I need now, and I've let a lot of the junkier ones that I'd been holding on to go.
It feels good.
Yeah, they stack well, and they have the lids. And
there's nothing like that frustration of like, okay, I'm going to put it in this. I think that food will fit in this one. Wait, there's no lid for that one. Okay, maybe this one, that's too big, but I do have the lid for
and you put the food in.
Thing.
You put the food in first, and then realize there's not the lid, so you're washing more. And
You just don't need that daily frustration.
Nope.
So yeah, even if you're not buying new, just like socks, if they don't match at some point, we gotta let them go.
It's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, get rid of it. Okay, number 8: old receipts, manuals, and random paperwork.
This you can get 100 in so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about this, we've talked about paperwork in full episodes and in various ways, but that's one of those things, you said it earlier, it comes in uninvited.
Right.
You're not going to the store and buying random paperwork and junk mail. So you're not choosing it. So it's not like a habit you have to, reset yourself. Oh, I shouldn't go buy more. I have enough. It comes whether you want it or not.
Correct.
From work, from school for your kids, from the mail, from, things left at the door, from cards that you get. It just stacks up. You go somewhere, They give you the receipt. Again, finding a system where you're doing the best you can to not have it come in the house unless it needs to. And if it does need to, filing it or putting it where it needs action on it or where it needs properly saved saves you so much time from sorting through the same stacks and regrouping it, and then it gets piled up into one stack again. And
yeah, because if you just touch it once, so right now I have created a habit to where if I go get the mail, then as I'm walking back up the driveway, I am sorting through it, and everything goes in the recycle bin that I don't want, which is like 95% of the mail.
Yeah.
And because all of our bills are online pretty much now, there's really, the mailbox is really mostly, unfortunately, junk mail. So it goes right in the recycle bin, and it doesn't even come in the house. And so if you haven't done that, though, there's probably a lot already in the house. And you can, kind of start that habit and get into that habit. But, and receipts, if you got your receipt from Taco Bell, do you need that to keep that? I mean, sometimes there are receipts that I need to keep, especially for us. We buy a lot of things for our business, and I do need to keep some, receipts. So a system for that is super important. But a lot of the receipts you get, you just don't even need them at all.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, it's probably been 10 years or so. I just made the decision to switch to a much smaller purse. And but when I made that decision, I was like, I am hauling around so much. And a lot of it was paper from different stuff. And I'm like, I do not need this. But because the space was available,
right,
I had filled it and I didn't clean it out routinely. And I'm like, I'm taking this everywhere.
Right.
Why?
Right.
And so that was a choice to just reset my mind around, now I see when there's stuff in there that shouldn't be. But that's one thing you can do. And just coming up with, like Jody said, getting it straight to the trash before it comes over that threshold is your best bet for most of it.
Okay, number 7, duplicate cords and random electronics. Oh my gosh. Does every man, sorry guys, have a box of cords that we don't even know what they go to anymore?
Yes. We just, we were in the middle of moving, and we found, Matt found, he pulled it out of a drawer and said, it's an old satellite, radio, whatever.
And the first bag phone.
Yeah, I don't even know. He was telling me so that you could listen to Sirius or something in your house instead of in your car. I don't know.
Years ago.
Yeah. So first we had to get that charged up, but then it was I need headphones that actually plug in, not the iPhone cord, but a regular one. And we were like, I don't know, do we have them? And he's like, let me check the drawer. And he came back with our literal drawer of cords. Did not have what we needed, but quite a few in there. So we do have it. It's not a huge drawer, and they are organized. So maybe it's okay, but
yeah, it's always I do hand them to Mark, and I'm like, I don't know what this goes to. then we're in that, should we keep that? Should we not keep that? And, probably you don't need to keep it. I mean, if the cord has been separated from its thing and you don't have something that's cordless, that you don't know where the cord is, then you probably don't need it.
What I did think about yesterday when all of this happened, so funny that it just happened, but I think they sell, if you have those little tags that could go on your wine glass stem label it, I think they sell little clips that go around that you could label it. I think that would be my biggest suggestion, is have a supply of those, and when new things come in with a cord, label the cord right then, so later down the road you know what it's for and you know whether you have or use that item anymore.
Right, because it's probably something that broke, and then you threw it away and somehow the cord didn't go with it.
And we keep the drawer full because I don't know what they're to, so I'm fearful it is to charge something.
But let's go back in our brains and think, how many times did we go to that box to look for a cord?
Yeah.
Once?
Yeah.
Not many.
Yeah.
Not many times.
Yeah. definitely. We could all get rid of several, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Number 6, as we count down here, single socks,
Yep. Holy undergarments.
holy undergarments, all the random things. If you know, the closet itself is a process to go through, but if the sock is gone, it's gone. Or if you just, I find your amount of socks can multiply quickly.
I agree with
So
that.
when you buy, you know, a new pack of 12, you know, like if it's athletic socks or something, they're coming in a multi-pack most times. And if you're not getting rid of the old ones, I mean, how many socks do you need? How many pairs do we need?
Right. Lots of places it's just happened, but they do Socktober, and they donate, because socks are one of the things that people
Homeless
really need.
the
Like it's one of the
most,
number one things. So you can absolutely donate your socks that you don't use. If you obviously match them and no holes, but people really need those. So that's a great thing to go through your sock drawer and donate.
Yeah, or even if you're buying a giant pack and you don't need all of them, donate half brand new.
Yeah.
What a gift
Right.
if you don't need all of them.
Right,
So,
right. And if your underwear, if they have holes in them, like it's time to take care of yourself a little bit. Like, don't be wearing that stuff. Just let it go and, take care of yourself a little bit. Buy something new.
and when you do that, make space for the new by
Letting
moving
go
the
of the
old
old.
out. Yep.
Okay, number 5, takeout menus and condiment packs. Oh my gosh. So I'm picking on my mom a little bit here, but I opened her fridge and she had I don't know how many Chick-fil-A sauces. And I'm like, Mom. And she's like, but that one's my favorite. I use it for everything. And I'm like, okay. But there's keeping all of those little condiment packs that you get, whether it's soy sauce, or from Chinese food, or whether, whatever it is. No, we can let those go. And, every menu is online. So we don't need any takeout.
Yeah, we don't need the takeout menu. We don't need all the pizza coupons and the flyers that come in that junk mail.
That
Just
go in the
make
junk
that-
drawer and then expire.
Yeah, I had that drawer for probably 20 years, just loaded with the expired coupons. But yeah, we don't need it. Just stop the madness.
Yeah. That's an easy no-brainer to let go of that stuff.
Yeah.
Broken pens, dried up markers, and office junk. Pens multiply in my house. I don't know.
Pens multiply for me at the office.
At the office, right?
I have
There's somewhere.
so many pens.
Yeah.
I need to go through them.
Yeah. So, and when we had kids, the markers definitely would dry up and all of that stuff. I mean, I probably still have some markers somewhere that are dried up in my house that I need to let go of. But yeah, so any of that stuff, if it doesn't work, then obviously don't keep it. And same thing, how many do you need, right? Do you need 100 pens? No, you do not.
Right.
So even if they are working, put that down to a manageable number of pens.
Right. I think too, we talk a lot about the habit, like a 10-minute a day habit. And as we go through this list, number one, so many of these could easily fit into that short 10-minute burst.
Yeah.
But also a lot of these, because they're so little deep decisions on it, these are great multitasking things. So, the pens, you could sit while you're watching something on TV and you're just testing all the markers, testing the pens. And so don't forget that sometimes you can just accomplish something without your full attention, and still get it in for the day.
And if they're markers or, art supplies or whatnot that you have outgrown or whatever, teachers often want those. Schools can want those. Or
servers want pens.
Yeah, servers do want pens.
Yeah, so if you have any of your kids, grandkids, or neighbors, or anybody.
Or even just when you're out to dinner, like if
take a rubber banded bunch and ask if they could use them because they need them for their tables.
Yeah, their pens walk off all the time.
Yeah, so that's a great way to avoid the trash can if they still have life in them.
Yep. Okay, number 3, freebie swag that you're never going to use.
Yeah.
Yep, all that stuff that has somebody's name on it that you took and shoved in the back of your kitchen cabinet.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I think we see people going through, if you've ever been to like an expo fair or, a home expo or a health fair or anything, and all of the people have information, or at a festival with booths or whatever. It's just really learning that it's important for you to value your space and not bring all of that home, and not to pick things up unless they truly have a purpose for you wanting that vendor's information.
Yeah.
You don't need to collect all of it to just not know what to do with it. You can just release that mental space by not picking it up unless their information is of value to you that you want to follow up on.
Right. And they will give away all kinds of things, water bottles and mugs and, all kinds of stuff. And if you have your favorite mug that you use all the time, and you have a bunch of mugs that have, people's names on them that are in the back of your kitchen cabinet, like that all can go.
Yeah. And if it's something you use, that's okay too, to
of course.
Take it. I got a little tape measure that's like car size, like small size, and I keep it right there. So when we're out places and I need it, it's in my car and it's handy, but I don't need all of like a million water bottles.
Well, I use all the Roscoe Group chip clips.
Yes. Yes. I do like my Roscoe Group chip clips and my water bottle. So I do not need more, but let us know if you would like one of those. We'll hook you up. Yeah.
Yeah. I think though, we do end up with stuff that we accidentally take, or people, hand to us, and we don't make that decision then and be like, oh no, thank you, I don't need that. You just take it because you're being, polite, and then you end up with that. And paperwork too, if you've gone to those fairs. I mean, you sift through that at the end, and when you get home, and is it a service you're going to use? Is that something that's, put that somewhere if you're really going to use it, but the rest of it, can probably go in the paperwork throwaway.
Back in the day when I was little, when my grandpa was alive, you got free stuff when you subscribed to magazines.
Uh-huh.
And so he went through this stage where he subscribed to a whole lot of magazines he didn't want.
Just to get the
free stuff. And then for Christmas, the gifts were the free stuff. And it was just
was quite the thought
cycle
process. Then he had all these magazines.
Then the magazines would come. And so you can, the word free, just evaluate whether that's bringing something in that you don't want.
Just because it doesn't cost anything doesn't mean that we need it to clutter our brains in our head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
Okay, number 2.
The random kitchen gadget that you forgot you owned.
Yes.
That's the stuff that's in the back of the drawer, really in the kitchen, anything, not even just gadgets, anything that's in the back of the cupboards or in the tops of the cupboards that you can't really reach unless you get a stool. Most of that can go.
Yeah. I don't know what I was listening to, but I heard someone mention the vegetable spiralizer, like for your zucchini or whatever.
Yeah.
And, as you guys know, a lot of my stuff has been in storage for a few years. And I was like, I used to have one of those. I wonder if I kept that. What would I? And it was so funny because I had this whole
conversation with yourself.
Like I almost wanted it in that moment, and I was like, I haven't thought of it in 5 years.
And how many times have you spiralized vegetables?
No, I don't have one in my current kitchen. I have not missed it. Forgot I even owned it. So when I unpack, if I come across it, I will put it straight to the donation pile. I promise. But it was funny. Like it's the gimmicky stuff that gets me in the moment, and then I use it for a short phase, and then it's there.
And that's the other thing I think about when you're in your kitchen, like what are single tasking things, like an avocado slicer. And if you love it and you use it all the time, great. But you could also, just use a knife and a spoon and cut it out. So
Scoop it out.
is that something that you use or you bought and you thought you were going to use and now it's been in the drawer for, a year or more? Or if it's something you use every day, that's great, because different people have different habits of how they do stuff. But I'm sure that there are things in your kitchen that are single tasking things that you could use some other things that you have in your kitchen to do the same thing and let go of some of it.
Yes. I have the thing that's supposed to pull the leaves off of.
Oh, I have that.
Mine does not.
It doesn't work at all.
It does not work at all. It either comes all the way through stem and leaves,
Yes.
no problem, or I tug it through a small hole and the stem breaks.
I did not. It was a fail for me.
Yes, but it's still in my
such a
drawer.
Cute idea.
So
Mine still might be too.
Need to get rid of that.
Yeah, both of those have to go when we get home.
Yes, 100 will be easy for me too, but that's what comes to mind with, I thought it would be so great.
Yeah, no,
not.
same. And I mean, sometimes you just have to try things and you're like, okay, that didn't work. But then we just put it back in the drawer.
Yeah.
And we don't, let it go.
Yeah. Okay, we are at the top of our list.
The number one easiest thing.
We know this well. Expired pantry items and spices.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, I would say there's probably a 95% chance that, most of your spices are expired.
Yes.
There's
Don't look
ones
too
that
closely. You scare yourself.
I mean, there's ones that you use all the time, and those probably aren't because you continually, buy new ones. But man, I mean, there's ones that are, they used to be green and now they're gray, and they're not going to hurt you, but they don't have any flavor. So if you try to, cook with them, it's really, you're not adding, it's turned to dust pretty much,
Yeah. I think this is another one of those phase in life situations too, that if you are an avid cook and you are still doing that, have all the spices you want. I will love to come over for dinner and eat all the delicious food. But if that's not something that you are doing and you've reduced the amount that you're cooking either for yourself or for large gatherings, it is okay to have less too. Once you've looked to see what's expired, if you're a basic cook, you don't need I don't know. I'm maybe 10 or less. I mean,
probably.
I think we accumulate all the ones we have because one recipe calls for it and you buy it and then you don't use. That's how they're expired because we're not using them. But if you had, 10 to 12, you could mix and match and use different things.
And I found sometimes, some of them, I can't find a date on them. So I have started to just write the date that I bought them on the jar, so that then I can, circle that out.
Yeah. And you can write it a lot bigger than the fine print that you can't read them.
Actually, the newer ones do have the date. So if they don't have a date, they have to go.
Before the 2000s. Is that what we're assuming? If there's no
That's
date?
Terrifying.
Yeah. I think when we went through ours recently, I can't remember the exact year, but it was definitely like a 2010 or 11 or something.
Yeah, I had some old ones too.
Really old. And
and then you're like, ew.
I mean, it was kind of like, ew, but I was also like, I don't remember ever using it. So I don't think we were eating it.
But even if you did, again, it's just not gonna add any flavor. It's not gonna hurt you, but it's not gonna add any flavor.
Yeah.
And it's expired pantry items too. I mean, that happens more often than you think. I've been through my pantry and I can still go and find things that, have expired not 6 months ago or whatever, because when I cleaned it out the last time, it still had a little bit of time left, so I left it, and if it's not there. So if you have stuff too in your pantry that you are looking at, I'm not going to use that for, you bought some for a recipe and there was extra, not open packages, but food pantries are always, if you think, hey, I'm not going to use that, that's always a great place.
Before the expiration date. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it causes a lot of work for them if it's beyond the expiration date. So be careful not to use that as your way of getting rid of it.
Yeah. There are places that expired food can go to, but but most food pantries have to look at the date, write the date on the top, and it has to be not expired.
So that they can stay open and serve the people that they're helping.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So that's it. 10 super quick ways that you can get lots and lots of things out of the house without any emotional baggage, without really any thought process to it. You know, it's not, there's no decision making if the food's expired or it's not expired.
None of these were anything that's going to pull at your heartstrings. Just get it out, get a donation trip going. If you had things you could donate, get it out with the trash, move it out of the house as quickly as possible once you've made those choices and bagged it up, and then you've got some nice fresh spaces. And
moving it out of the house is actually like the number one thing, because if you, let's say you went through some mail and then you put that pile somewhere else, you know, the to-go pile, but then somehow that got mixed up, like you were going through it again and again, right? So you just want it to go.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we hope that inspired you to go and do a quick 100, or tackle these categories in order, out of order. Just go, hit the ground running and build some momentum. If you need any resources, you can always visit our website, downsizingroadmap.com, and we'll be back with more info next week.
Talk to you next time.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us on the Downsizing Roadmap Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who might need a little downsizing inspiration. Have questions or ideas for future episodes? Reach out to us on our website, www.downsizingroadmap.com. Until next time, let's keep simplifying and moving forward.